Welcome to the real.
Hey,
Thank God it is April. Ooh,
I know, right?
them
April
first 90
Fool's.
days.
It was.
20.
It is. Well, I don't know. My birthday was a part of those first 90 days, so it's always my favorite time of the year. It's always people whose birthdays are late in the year that be mad about the first quarter of the year.
I don't ever remember like my year starting off so rough, but it's like every week it was something.
Now, I will say that has been my testimony. But my warfare literally started November, so I've been in war since November. The dust is somewhat settling now, but
Jesus.
yeah. So all we can do is trust them.
But YPJ told us that anyone's gonna fight like a madman this year.
And I'm gonna fight like a mad one too. I got to turn up just as much. So I'm no stranger to the warfare. We're no strangers to warfare. So
Nope.
it is what
That's
it
why
is.
I'm like, people be trying to like run the positions. I'm like, y'all
Have
have
them.
not.
Have them. Y'all can have them. Yeah. Think about it. The devil fighting us with just this little stuff we doing. That's why people like, when you gonna do this? When you gonna do that?
I know, right?
And please, don't get me started. Hold on, y'all. Let me move. Let me move something. I don't want to get reported. Hold on.
What you done did? Welcome to the real room.
I
If
had
you are just,
Django in the camera.
you say you doing what?
I had Django in the camera.
Oh,
Right. Don't ask me who Django is, y'all. Okay, there we go. All right.
welcome to the real room. If you are just joining us for the first time, my name is Colanda.
This is Stan on the ones and twos. Check it. Check it. Check it. Check it. Check it. Check it. I am losing weight. Okay.
You what you dieting?
I don't know.
Stress?
That could be. I don't know. I ain't really doing that major.
Just
I don't
enjoy
know.
the Lord over there being your strength, changing your life.
Now these grays. Now these grays. Joy's coming in the morning. I don't know. But everybody been telling me that, like, you know, you losing weight. I think I am.
And now you see it. They
See
say
what,
congratulations.
for what? What I did? I
I
won.
just said you're losing weight.
I won. Oh my God! Thank you guys. First, I want to thank
My
God.
mama said congratulations for losing weight.
Oh, I think I am losing weight. I'm looking. I'm looking in the camera. I kind of see it a little bit. Y'all don't let me get a six pack. I'm telling y'all now, because I'll be doing the real room live shirtless.
Like, I can already tell we wouldn't be able to stand you.
Oh no, y'all wouldn't. Y'all wouldn't. Some people, God have to keep us fat because it keeps us humble. Everybody don't deserve the six pack. Your flesh can't handle it.
I got a friend who like that. She was like, if God gave me some booty, I'd be on somebody's pole. He had to lead me this way.
Seriously, if I had me a six pack and some pecs, ooh, yeah, y'all would be mad at me. Because I'd be mad at people like that. They lose 2 pounds and now they got all the health advice and all the diet stuff and all that. Like, man, come on now. You was just fat last year. All right, now the Lord gonna put that fat right back on you.
No, Lord. But he
What
does.
What are we talking about tonight, Sister Douglas?
We're talking about gender roles, which I thought was interesting because that is such a huge topic in society. Then it in the church seems like it has gender roles, especially like when it comes to ministry. So when I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, the Lord specifically made Adam and Eve equal. However, when after the fall and they were cursed, they had distinct responsibilities or distinct roles. And so we're going to talk about gender roles, but do you think that even the Lord has given us roles that we're supposed to play as men and women? Although he said we were created equally, the man's curse was that he was going to have to work the ground, and ours is that we would bear children.
So is it like,
pain?
Are you almost saying like it could come off that God is being sexist?
I'm asking if we have specific roles that we're supposed to play as women versus as a man. Although we're equal, do we have distinct roles? Or could the woman work by what is something like the sweat of her brow? I mean, I know the man can't have babies, but what if the roles were reversed? He's home taking care of the kids.
I don't. Okay, we're gonna get shut down for this show tonight, so I'm just gonna tell y'all. So y'all, please don't report the real room for our thoughts. Well, my thoughts, but I personally don't think that men and women are the same. I know nowadays we live in a society where people are, the whole gender thing really is it's a blurred line right now. So, because it's this new thing now, you have to if you pronounce your gender, you have to do like he, him, his. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
What does that mean? And
those
then
are pronouns.
Yeah, everybody got. So what is the pro? So everybody got to go by pronouns now, or what you want to be referred to as, or is that just?
So it's twofold. So then this is what I do for my 9 to 5. They're called gender pronouns. They're supposed to help people to better identify themselves. So if I'm talking to a person and I can tell that they are transgender, like I can tell this is a man dressed as a woman, if they want me to refer to them as a woman, they will say, "Hi, my name is XYZ. My pronouns are she, hers." So that when I refer to them, I will refer to them as a woman, although I see that this is a man dressed as a woman. But I think the pronouns have really like been taken over by the LGBTQ community, because I also believe pronouns can be helpful when people like have non-American names. So for example, my old boss, his name was Lore. Last name was Lee. So if I'm looking at an email, I may think that's a woman, but if he uses pronouns, then I know to address him as a he. Or even with me, there are a lot of times, because people can't tell what the gender of my name is, I'm referred to a lot of times in email as Mr. Douglas from people like outside my organization, because they don't know if Kalanda is a girl or a boy name. Yeah, because they don't know like the nationality or the ethnicity behind it. So
it's too much to keep up with.
But
but what is non-binary? That means you don't go by a gender?
Yeah, they don't. What's the word? Identify as male or female.
So what are you, an alien or something? Jesus help me. Anyway, so
they are not an alien. They just don't believe they identify as either.
Okay.
So sometimes,
and I think that's why people don't know gender roles, because nowadays you can change. I mean, you can change your gender.
Yeah. So like a non-binary person would refer to themselves as they or them, because they don't identify as she or he.
Okay, let me tread light. I don't want us to get sued. Okay, but I think that's why we don't understand gender roles, because genders are, think about it, within the next 20, 30 years from now, I don't think genders will probably exist. Unless, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think everything's going to be all inclusive. So I think because of that, nobody's going to really go by man or woman. And like you said, you can be a man and want to be referred to as, she, her, stuff like that. And I think that's really what we're dealing with right now in this community, in the world today. So,
but you have a lot of people who feel like gender is like a social construct, although the Lord specifically said he created male and female.
Yeah.
Like race, well, not even that, because they were identified by their ethnicity in the Bible too. But a lot of people try to say that this is like a social construct, is something that people made, that like humans made up, but it was in biblical times. Those were the Israelites. We knew those were the Chaldeans, or like
Cushites.
Yeah. So race and ethnicity and gender have always been a part of like biblical times.
Yeah, it has. And I think because now in Western culture, everybody have an opinion now. Everybody has rights. Everything's trying to be, I think everybody's trying to be fair for everybody across the board. But when you go to the Eastern culture, they're still upholding those standards of male, female, men, women. Like, they just passed a law in Africa.
Yeah.
They are sentencing people to life who are homosexuals. So some countries are, now I'm not saying you should kill somebody because of let me say this. No, I am not condoning that lifestyle or anything like that. I'm not saying that it's okay to do that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think it should be to a point where you actually are physically killing people and putting them in prison because of their choice to do that. That's something that needs to be decided between them and God. At the end of the day, that's between them and God. And if they want to change, you know, God is able to change people. God is able to deliver. I know people that have lived that lifestyle that God has delivered from, and they don't have the tendencies. They're not looking back. Some of them are married and have families, and they going on with their life. So
Men?
yeah, I know some
What
guys.
I want to know, because I know that it's easier for women. Like,
well, women, y'all can go in and out of that stuff. So society don't really crucify women for going in and
but
out.
it is difficult to like hear about a man who was delivered from homosexuality and now is married to a
There are a
woman.
lot of men that are, but they can't tell those testimonies because you know how the church is. I don't know. I don't trust that. He might be still dabbling.
Yeah.
You know how they do. So,
Yeah.
like I said, so I think with that, that's causing a problem. I was looking at I know a lot of people don't really care for her. I'm one of them that don't. But Iyanla Vanzant, she was I know, because y'all like all that emotional and crying and all that stuff. That's she's too mushy for me. I don't do all that. But anyway, she was talking about the problem with society is, now Iyanla Vanzant said this. Stanley Calander did not say this. Iyanla Vanzant said this. She said the problem with society is that there are too many masculine women, and it's causing men to lose their masculinity because she feels that women are taking more of a masculine dominant role in society. So it's hard for women to find husbands because when you do get a man, you don't really want him to be your husband. You pretty much want him to be your son.
Oh my.
And you want a man that you can control. You want a man that you can manipulate. You want a man that's going to do everything for you, but you don't want to submit to him.
Let me clutch my pearls. Not want him to be your son.
Yeah, you want him to be your son. You don't want a husband. You want another son.
I think there is some truth to that. I think there are some women. I want to say, I think when that does happen, I think it's primarily women who have had to step up and be the act as the male figure, and now that they have one, don't know how to like rein it in or like relax and like return back to their former self now that they don't have to play that role anymore. So it's almost like, you know, there are a lot of women who like they're single parents, single mothers. Sometimes they go to the other extreme, and so now it's like I'm not even soft and nurturing like a mom, especially if I have boys and I'm a single mom. Now I'm like on the other end of it, and I'm extreme, trying to be like the father figure, trying to raise the son. But then like Iyanla did a show where this mom had to like apologize to her son because he was like, I forgive you for not being who I needed. Like, he didn't have his dad in his life, but she was so busy like trying to be dad, try to overcompensate for his father leaving him, that he didn't have that softness of a mom. And then in turn, now he struggles with relationships with women.
Yes. So it's very possible. And I think I've seen it where, you know, like I would say this, for instance, growing up in my household with my parents, my mom would be considered, to me, my mom and my aunts, they were alpha women. Like, you know, they took charge, they spoke up, they had opinions and this and that. My dad is an alpha male as well. So I've seen it, but I've also seen it to where it was a decision, like there had to be decisions made. My mom didn't overstep my dad, and my dad didn't do things without disregarding my mom. Like when we would, like my dad would be like, I don't want y'all to go outside. Y'all don't punish me. And we would try to go to my mom and be like, can we go outside? And my mom would be like, well, what did your daddy say? You know, stuff like that. Or if my mama was like, y'all ain't going to such and such, we'd be like, Daddy, can I go to such and such? He'd be like, what did your mama say? So we couldn't like really play them against each other. And to be honest, I don't see a lot of that these days. I see, you know, he don't know what he's talking about. You gonna do what you want to do. I'll deal with him later. You know what I'm saying? And it's causing the man to feel like, okay, I don't have that kind of, you know, maybe I don't have that kind of power. I don't have that kind of control. And it's not about controlling each other. It's just about knowing, especially for Christians, if you're saved. Now we talk to people that ain't saved, But if you save and you want to walk this walk and you're in a relationship and stuff like that, you got to understand that there is a level of hierarchy that God has put in place that we must follow. So God has called men to lead and to be, it's in our nature. We just do that. We just naturally take charge. We just naturally, protect. We just naturally do those things if you put us in situations. So you got to allow a man to be a man and not try to control him. That's just all I'm trying. I'm trying to tread light because I don't want to get crucified in my inbox tonight because you might get told some other words.
I think I'm an alpha female. But I also am married to a alpha male. But I enjoy like not having to worry about certain things. Now the alpha female in me does ask a lot of questions. So like Marcus can never just say, babe, God told me that we need to move to LA in 6 months. And I'm gonna just be like, oh my God, let's go. Whatever you say. Like I need details. Like we can go, but I need to like tell me exactly what he said. Like but I also enjoy like, okay, that's between you and God. Like I know that certain decisions made for our family, I don't have to take the onus for that responsibility and rest on my shoulders. And I enjoy it as a woman, like not having to worry about certain things. But I do understand how sometimes, and I think this is why it's so important, like even when you're getting married, to know the type of woman that you're marrying. Because it's a lot of men that was like, she always trying to tell me what to do. Sis didn't wake up and be like this. She was alpha female when you all were dating. But for whatever reason, you found it to be attractive. And now that you're married to her, you want her to stop being so controlling. Like, well, she's been like this. Or, vice versa. The woman want the man to like step up and be a man and act like this. Well, he wasn't doing that when you were dating. Like,
right. He can't fight you every time y'all go out and you start stuff. And you mad because he ain't jump in and help you beat up that girl?
Yeah, that is true. It's a lot of things. I remember in marriage counseling, probably one of the most beneficial activities that we did is they gave us like a list of activities, and me and Marcus had to go home. Well, not the same house because we weren't married yet, but we had to go back and talk about. We weren't. I was staying in the dorms, but we had to go back and talk about like household chores and mark which one we thought was like the man's role versus the woman's role. So that we could have an understanding about how we wanted to take care of our house. But like, I see women mowing the lawn. In my mind, that's the man's job. But there are a lot of women who get out there and mow the grass and wash the car.
Because they don't need no man. They ain't got to wait on no man to get it done. I can do it myself.
That's not okay.
My daddy taught me how to change the tire. I don't need no man.
Is that the type of women you meet, Stanley?
Oh yeah, they're definitely out there. They are definitely out there. I remember one time, this happened a couple of years ago. I posted on Facebook. I was at the gas station. It was late at night, and I was putting air in my tire. And so another girl pulled up to me, and she was putting air in her tire. She was getting ready to put air in her tire. So I said, well, excuse me. I said, it's late. I said, how about you sit in your car and I'll put the air in your tire for you. Wait a minute, what you trying to say? I don't know how to put air in my tire. I don't need no man to teach. I'm like, whoa, I'm just trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? So
I was trying to be a gentleman.
I left her right there in the dark. Bye. I tried.
You could have turned around, like put your high beams on her stand.
No, do it yourself. Do it yourself. Because you don't need no man. But I think because of the society that we're in now, people feel like they don't need the opposite sex anymore. Like,
yeah,
think about it. You got men now that do more cooking than women do. And believe it or not, you got men that cook better than women these days. A lot of them. Back, I would say like 20 years ago, it was very unusual for a man to really know how to cook. Like, cook. Most catering companies, they're men catering, like not women. And then you got more women doing more of the stuff that we would consider like industrial. They drive around and they forklift trucks and jackhammers and stuff.
And that's so funny you said that. So Saturday we had prayer at our church, and two of our members own a lawn company, so they do the yard at church. And the husband was like edging everything, and it was his wife riding on the lawnmower. And so Sunday, I said, "Girl, I seen you out there riding that thing, like just handling with her little self." But yeah, it's more women driving semis and right. But I think even with the catering thing, I think because cooking is like such a chore sometimes for most women, it's like the thing that is defaulted to them. I can see why maybe men pick up on it and like can be passionate about it, and
it's an art.
Yeah, start a catering company.
But you can't even tell women that no more. All right, now to get a man, you got to know how to cook. That ain't even the case no more because we as men, we know how to cook now.
You know how to cook, Stanley?
I really can't. I don't cook because it's just me, and I don't like to cook.
You eat out every day?
Somewhat.
All 3 meals?
I don't really eat 3 meals a day.
Oh.
I eat like 1 or 2, but yeah, if I do. But I know how to cook, believe it or not. I know how to cook.
You ate out 2 times a day already?
Did I eat out 2 times a day? Yeah. No, I haven't ate second today. I went to Firehouse for lunch, so I wanted me a sandwich. And what's so crazy is I went to the grocery store yesterday and bought lunch meat. And I didn't realize that. I was like, dog, I got this at the house. I could have just made my own sandwich. That's why I need a wife. That might be why I need a wife.
Not for her to cook.
No, just for her to be like, why are you going to the Firehouse if you got this stuff at the house? Like, but hey, single life. That's how we do. But no, like me, honestly, me and my brother can cook. My mom and dad will cook because both of them can cook. So I don't like to cook because I don't like to clean up afterwards. So to keep the kitchen clean, I don't cook. I know that's just me. But if it goes down to it, where all the restaurants are shut down, trust me, I will be fine.
And you work from home now?
Mm-hmm. I'm still working from home, so plus me going out to eat, that's my way of getting out of the house.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
If I was in the office, I probably would do more cooking at home, but I'm home all day, so I enjoy. In case my job is watching, I enjoy working from home. I love it. It's phenomenal. So productive.
Yeah, just in case your job watching.
Yeah, in case they watching, I'm so productive here. So productive. Please let me stay home.
I feel like most people have made their decisions about that. Like
they have, but I'm actually supposed to go back to the office. I'm actually supposed to report to the office the end of July, so I'm still a little. Y'all be praying for me. Be praying for the Lord. That the Lord would do something permanent. Come on, somebody. I have not worked in an office in 3 years, so yeah.
It's gonna be hard. Yeah, get back.
It's gonna be. Oh my God, it's gonna be an adjustment for me.
But your wife could be back in the office.
No, she's not in that job.
You don't know who they've hired, Stanley.
I know. I already went through the Skype to see who they. Yeah, I already know. Yeah, they ain't there.
Do you think, like, would you be okay with the alpha male? What's the opposite of an alpha female?
Beta male, beta female. So pretty much one's dominant and one's passive or submissive. Now I have seen couples where the woman is the alpha and the husband is the beta. Like the woman be like, "Oh no, we finna go do something about this," and the husband be like, "No."
I got a friend like that too.
I got a few like that. I ain't gonna call their names on the real room, but I've seen it where the woman be back there like let's go, and the husband be like, "Nah,
you gotta go, guys."
Yeah, they real like, let's just pray about it. Like what? And they'll call me, "Man, what you think?" I'm like, "Man, you better listen to your wife." You know what I'm saying? So, like I know one couple in particular, and I hope to God they're not watching this, but his wife don't miss nothing. Like the slightest piece of shade, she catches it. And the husband always be like in the clouds about stuff. And she be the main one. Like, I'm like, dude, you better thank God for your wife, because you would let a lot of stuff happen to you if it weren't for her. So I think it can work.
So for a man to be a beta male, and for the beta male who's married to the alpha female, is it possible for her to be submissive?
I think so.
So her husband is still a leader. He's just, I guess,
he's not aggressive. He's not an aggressive leader.
Okay.
She's just a main influence. She just carries more of the passion or the aggressive side, because I can see that being a situation where You know what I'm saying? Like where it could still it. Like I tell people all the time, I'm not married, so I really don't give marriage advice. But one thing I will say is you don't know what works for couples, and you don't know what goes on in people's houses. So that may necessarily work for them, you know, for the wife to be like that. And, you know, some guys that are betas were used to women taking charge. And, you know, most of them were either raised by single mothers. They really didn't have like male influences in their life like that. So they were used to women, you know, doing everything for them, and they just go along with it. So that may be how they're raised. Does that mean it's right or wrong? No. But at the end of the day, you don't know what worked for people. So if that makes you happy, go for it. I just know for me, I don't know. Because I consider myself an alpha male. I can be very dominant when I have to be. So I don't know. That's just me though.
Now I'm thinking about like all my friends. Mm-hmm. I do got a friend. She's an alpha male. Her husband is definitely a beta.
Yeah. And that because if they like my pastor Bishop Paul said one time, anything with two heads is a monster. So
but I'm an alpha male, Marcus alpha.
But there's a certain level of submission though. Like you said, you allow him to, you don't control, like by you being an alpha, you're not an alpha all the time with everything.
Yeah, no.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like there are some women that ain't backing down at all. They tell their husband when to go to work. They tell him what time he need to be back home when he get off work. They need to know his password, so they go through his phones and
that sounds like
know all his friends, and
that sounds like
go nowhere without her. Like,
that's
what else? We going to the church she want to go to. We going to the church he want to go to. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, for some people that works for them. That works for them. But I do have a question. Are gender roles the same? Okay, outside of like marriage and relationship, what about because you have experience with this in a work corporate setting? Are gender roles equal in a corporate setting?
I'm gonna say assume that they're not, because I think sometimes men are like so aware or more aware in a corporate setting that they don't want to be misogynistic. So he may not open the door for you or hold the door open. And it's not him being rude, it's him saying, I don't want this woman to think that that she needs me or that that she needs my help. But 9 times out of 10, most of the people I have worked with, because we're in the South, like that's how people in the South are raised, with manners and to be gentlemen. You know, Marcus hold the door open for strangers, and sometimes I'd be mad because I'd be like, her man should have got the door next.
Do they? And you know, it make me mad when I do that. These women today don't even say thank you.
They don't.
They just look at you and keep walking.
They do. Want to say the whole family gonna walk the door. I'm like, it's a man in y'all group. He was supposed to get the door next. Let my man. I'm over here waiting for. Yeah. So you have some men who who would still help. I think my mom was saying the other day, like they saw somebody with some a woman with groceries. I think she told my dad to go and help the woman because she had a lot of groceries by herself. So you have a lot of men who do still help, but I think because of society, there are a lot of men in the corporate setting who are overtly aware, like, I don't want to come off as misogynistic, as if this woman can't do this. So
I think in a corporate world, you probably could look at it different because of the type of position you have, but from someone that y'all have a job. I always had one. But for people don't think we work, but from somebody that's like, say, like just one of your regular associates, I've always felt like men were not fairly treated in a corporate world. I felt like women always had more of an upper hand in a corporate setting.
What?
I felt like women and I'll say it. I felt like women and alternatives people, I'll leave it at that, had more of an upper hand in the corporate world than men, particularly even with black men. Black men definitely, I feel like we're on the bottom of the totem pole. Like you could put a black man up for a promotion and put him next to a black woman. 9 times out of 10, I feel like the black woman would get the promotion over the black man.
That must be in your industry because that's not what statistics say. Statistics say that the Black woman is at the bottom of the corporate ladder. Even so the Black man doesn't receive as much pay as the white man, but he receives more than the Black woman.
I every job, and I worked for, I would say for the last three jobs I had, one was in the mortgage industry and two were in banking. Majority of the supervisors were women.
I think
like industry. Black men in a leadership. I think
it's your industry too. Like customer service are like positions that require people to be talkative, and I think like the profile of a good customer service person in our mind is typically a woman. Hey, what can I do to help you? Like, you don't really always, it's not a man who usually come over and that. But then if you think about like banking in the sense like who's the director of the bank or who is the loan officers or like that, then those are typically male. But women, yeah, customer service jobs, sales jobs, anything that requires like talking and because we tend to be more nurturing, so we want to like dig into the details of your life, and so that makes us probably better sometimes at being customer service.
Now, you know, like in the education field, there is a shortage, and they definitely need they pretty much are like begging men to go into the education.
You'll be a good teacher, Stanley.
No, I won't. I don't like kids, so they're basically begging.
That's how you probably would be good.
No, I don't like kids, and I don't have the patience for kids. I would probably lose like high school. August, I would lose my job probably in September.
High school.
I'll lose my job probably in 2 weeks. High school, I couldn't do it. My mom is a teacher. She bugged me about it for years to do it, but I can't do it. Children is really not that big of a passion for me. Like some people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like some people have a passion to teach kids, and that ain't me. If I did it, would probably be like on a college level. I might go and get a doctorate degree or something like that.
So, Marcus, we need to remember that next time we have the boys around you. They might be getting on your nerves.
Hey, and I'll walk off. I've done it before. But, all right, well, y'all be blessed. You notice how I come off out there.
I know. I know. Sometimes talk and Major be in the.
I called Marcus one day and Major was like, I said, hey, let me call you. I couldn't take it. It was 2 seconds. I was like, I'll call you back. Bye. They know that I hang up real quick. I can't do it. That ain't me. I can't do it. But I get it. In that field, I see, okay, men can be very dominant in that field because they need men. But most of the guys, like I say, most guys that I know work in corporate areas and corporate positions, they, especially black guys, they've always felt like black women always had. And I guess because if you promote a black woman, you're really doing that, what's the thing? Not equal opportunity, but when you have to have so many, you know what I'm saying? When they have to have so many people in a position.
They think it's as a result of affirmative action.
Affirmative action, yeah. Because you're really doing it twice because you're getting a woman in a position and you're getting a black woman in a position. So you really like doing affirmative action stuff like that. So, I mean, in the corporate world, I guess gender roles really don't exist. I guess everybody treated fairly.
I would say maybe like in social settings, I've seen it where like the women are the ones who plan like the social events for the office. And so like once the event is over, all the men go back to their desk and it's like the women who are still like cleaning up. They made all the arrangements, they've decorated. So sometimes like that in social settings, it is the women.
Yeah. And then like I've always felt like the people that do like the spokespersons for companies, to me, I feel like that's more of a woman's role. No shade, but you know what I'm saying. Like, because every time I saw a meeting or a company meeting, it was always a woman that was doing all the presentations and stuff like that. So like I said, it just looks like to me that more women, but like you said, it is based on the industry that you're in.
Yeah. It depends on the industry.
Depend on the industry.
Because I mean, I know people have tried to use this, and so that's why one of the things that I do with Church Girls Movement is we're going through the women in the Bible, and then just taking a look at the women from like a different point of view, because a lot of times I think when there are stories, Bible stories taught, and there's a woman, she's usually like not the hero in the story. There's more focus on like the man. Even the story of Ruth and Boaz. It's like it's less about Ruth and more about the fact that she was able to find Boaz. But it's like Ruth is the hero in the story. Like, and sometimes because of how scripture is taught, the woman is always sometimes seen in a lesser light. But like it was a privilege for the woman to be able to wash Jesus' feet with her hair. That was a subservient. That was like a privilege. It was a privilege for the woman to be the first one to see Jesus after his resurrection. But I don't think we always preach it from that, that point of view. Case in point, I was talking to somebody the other day and we were talking about the story of Abraham and Sarah. And we always teach that Sarah was barren. Like they'll say, like, oh, her womb was dead. Like it was Sarah's issue that caused them not to be able to have children. But if you look it's in Genesis and how it lists like this person begot this person begot this person, and it gets all the way to Abraham, and it tells his father. Up until Abraham's father was born, everybody in their lineage was having babies at 30. Abraham's father was the first one in their lineage to have a baby at 70, and then Abraham had a baby at 100. So it looks like whatever was going on, the fact that they couldn't have children may have more to do with Abraham than actually Sarah. That's not how we teach the story. We say like
it was Sarah's fault.
Yeah. So all the other men, Abraham baby, his family was having babies early until it got to the spot.
So does that mean that when it comes to church and God, are there gender roles when it comes to the kingdom? I believe there are.
Yeah, there definitely are gender roles. I think the Lord uses men and women differently for a reason. There are things just like in like parenting, in marriage, there are things that I can do as a woman that my husband can't do, and vice versa. I can't teach my sons how to be men. That's something my husband have to do. But it's going to be difficult for him to teach them to be nurturing, to be soft, to be gentle, so that when they have their children, they won't be as harsh, because that's more of my role as their mother. So I think there are roles, as long as the roles are equally like regarded, equally respected, then I think there is no issue. But I think the issue comes in when we think like, oh, because I'm a woman and I have to, that the Bible encourages me to be submissive, that I am the lesser. That's
what if it's a woman that's married? What if she's married and she's a pastor of a church? So
I think that's hard. It was a show like that when they was on like Real Pastors of
some foolishness.
And it was a woman, she was a bishop, and she was having trouble at her house because she could not turn it.
Left her.
Yeah, he did.
I think they did it divorce.
Because she couldn't turn the switch off. Like he kept like, you the bishop at church. Like you're not the bishop here at the house.
But I'm gonna say this. I was watching a documentary. Y'all know I love history. So I was watching a documentary about Queen Elizabeth. And when she married Prince Philip, he married her. That was like their marriage wasn't really arranged. Like they actually married for love. And that's what was so historical about her marrying Prince Philip. But the thing was, Prince Philip actually he was in a hierarchy to be a king from the country that he was from. But he forsook that to marry Elizabeth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And if you think about it, like in London, when the king becomes king and his wife, she becomes a queen consort, but Prince Philip never became King Philip. He was always Prince Philip. So they were saying how hard that could have been for him to assume that role, knowing that you're getting ready to marry the most powerful woman in the world. And now you have to submit even to her leadership. So one thing that she did was, when she was out before the public and around the people, you know, she was Queen Elizabeth, but when they went to like their castle in Balmoral or whatever, he was the husband, he was the father. She pretty much like completely put the crown to the side and let him be the head of that household.
Yeah.
You know, behind the scenes. So a lot of people didn't know that. So I think when you are a woman and you have a powerful role or a powerful position and you want to be with a man and you want to be hooked, you got to make sure that you're not hanging that over his head. Because at the end of the day, we as men, you know, we still like to have some level of control. We like to still feel regarded, you know, and feel like we in charge of something, you know. Saying like if you're a female pastor, then your husband need to be over the men's ministry, you know what I'm saying, or something, or at least be your co-pastor or something like that. So that's just how men are. I just think that you shouldn't just completely disregard the man because of the role that you have. Same thing if it was a male pastor, you know, you should completely disregard your wife because, you know, she's a woman and this and that and the other, or disregard any other women in the church. Because I do believe God can use, the Bible says, he'll pour the spirit on all the flesh, sons and daughters to prophesy. So
he can use a donkey, he can definitely use a woman.
And truth be told, most of these churches are 80% women. So if all the women got up and left your church, a lot of people wouldn't have churches to this day.
Or ministries, because it's us holding the ministries together.
They are. They giving, they supporting. They'll listen to you before they listen to their own husbands.
And that's not right, but that's true.
You can't disregard them. And most of the churches, like a lot of these denominations, a lot of these churches, the women started with prayer meetings, and they'll start it, the prayer meeting to grow. Next thing you know, they send an elder there and make it a church. So I think we can't disregard each other. I think we just need to have a respect for one another's role. Yeah. You know, like there are some things that women will come to me for prayer about that I won't even bother. I'll send, hey, you need to go talk such and such about that. I can't do it. You know, I'll pray with you on it, but I don't know what to tell you in this situation. Like, this is something you need to go talk to somebody else about. And I feel like that should be the same thing with women. Like, you got to know your limits and you got to know, you know, when to be like, all right, it does not mean you're not capable, but you just got to be mindful. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because remember, like back in the day, men could catch women when they fell out. Now, men can't even do that no more.
No, I never grew up like that.
I did. When women would fall out, the men would be behind them and catch them. When
I joined y'all church, it's the first time I had ever seen it.
Really? Yeah. Well, even at there, like women.
We didn't say that back home. It was a woman. I guess I don't really remember like men falling out.
Like if a preacher came and was preaching, it was mainly men that would catch women.
I mean, it makes sense because it's like he's stronger.
Yeah, he's stronger. And then I didn't see that till I got older, where now, you know, women are now catching women. And then now it's sort of, and I understand why now, because so many sexual harassment claims and men, these old sick, nasty dogs feeling all up on y'all. I get it. I understand. But, you know, there's some things that even I had to learn, you know, in ministry. When you feel like the Lord's giving you a word to minister to a woman, just bring another woman with you to kind of help you out, so won't nobody accuse you of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So men, we as men, we just have to be more careful. Like nowadays, you can't I remember there was a time when a woman came to church, say that she had breast cancer, the man will pray and put his hand right on the lung. But now you can't do that. You can't do that these days. No, you can't put your hand on their stomachs, you know. And women, you know, hey.
But my mama said, what about women praying for men and laying hands on them?
Now that's what confuses me. It's okay for a woman to lay hands on a man, but it ain't okay for a man to lay hands on a woman. So y'all need to stop being like that. Y'all need to stop being like that. But they did. Like, that's what I was taught. You know, if you felt the need to pray for a woman, you need to get another woman to help you.
Yeah. I think it's just for the sake of peace. I've seen pastors do that. Maybe they said they wife to come lay hands on a woman's stomach, and maybe he'll put his hands on his wife's hand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mother Hall growing up, mother didn't care. Grown man, she was laying them out.
Put them down. I've seen it where women would put. I've seen plenty of women put men down.
Yeah, I've seen older women do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because see, they had power back then. They was on it. They could.
But
get
I'm not doing it.
Now
I may touch a man's. I don't even know if I would touch his forehead.
I had a lady that had in my belly. She's like, in your belly. God gonna do it in your belly.
Did he do it?
But I can't touch you in your belly though. Ain't that something? Now how wrong is that?
How sexist is that?
Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
No, you had to touch that woman in her belly. You'd have been in somebody's office.
I'm gonna do it in your belly.
You'd have been in somebody's office.
Yeah, then they let me do it. They be man of God.
Especially if she's your age and they feel like she's attractive, they thought you.
Oh God, yes, that is. But I'm telling y'all, I don't flaunt it a lot, but I've actually been preaching this stuff for a minute now. But in my little time of experience, I have really encountered. I had a lady one time. I told y'all this story before. I was ministering and doing the altar, and that lady literally grabbed me and went to kissing on me. And I'm like, wow. I couldn't have did that to her. I probably would have been in jail. I'm so sick.
Well, shame on the people who saw it and didn't stop her or like reprimand her.
They didn't know what to do, I guess. I mean, she was just kissing on me. I was like, oh. Lord.
She was an older woman?
She was kind of older, but still though, it was like.
Yeah. I guess it was like, oh, that's like a grandma, but she not my grandma. So
no, like don't do. I wouldn't be able to kiss on you like that. So like, don't do me like that. That's why, yeah. See, y'all women think it ain't fair for y'all. It really ain't. I feel like it ain't fair for us either. I
guess it's a gender role issue to think that a man could be inappropriate with touch,
and a woman can't,
but not that a woman can. Also, yeah.
I mean, especially like I've seen women be all up in a married man face at church.
Oh yes, they do.
Say nothing to that, but then let the man be in the woman's face. Come out. Now you know she married. Y'all ain't say nothing to. Oh Lord, I almost said somebody's name. Let me hush. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, let me remember. Oh, I just remembered about when I said.
Y'all yeah. So I think if we're gonna be fair across the board, but see that just goes to show like nowadays a lot of churches don't really have training, and they don't really train their leaders and educate them on things. It's just nowadays you just have a certain way. Like there were times where the pastor could go to the hospital and pray for the woman, but see they can't do that no more. Now they got to take their wife with them. They got to, you know what I'm saying? Because so many people have messed it up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all sick, nasty preachers that messed it up for everybody. So now we all got to go through this code of conduct to make sure, just to do what,
as if the spirit don't direct us to what we should do. Yeah.
I mean, when I got ordained, as an elder, I had to take a sexual harassment class.
Really?
And I had to go get background check and fingerprinted.
Really?
Sure did.
I guess what they say is what he won't do is that we gave him a license to harass women.
Yep, wow. I sure did. I had to take a sexual harassment class, and they taught us how to minister to a woman, how to approach a woman. If you're
I don't think missionaries do that. I don't think they get back. I think they go to class.
They all license and
they take their test.
Right. We had to seriously. If in Kojic, you have to take a sexual harassment.
You think it was just our jurisdiction, or that's how?
No, it's national. It's a national.
I didn't know that.
Requirement, yeah. In Kojic, yeah. Like even I remember when they had brought the leadership meeting here some years ago. This is my dad was over evangelism.
Oh, let's not talk about that because that man still owe my husband money.
Who?
I don't know. Technically, he could have died of COVID. I don't know. I can't remember the name.
Well, it's under the blood. You
might have asked Marcus.
Oh my God. Oh, your mom said they're beginning to do it now.
Oh.
They didn't do it for one. Yeah, they did it for us. We had to take a sexual harassment course.
Wow.
But I remember when the leadership meeting came here, and if you wanted to be an altar worker, you had to take the sexual harassment class. And you could not work altar until you took that class. So there are some organizations that are implementing that.
That made me nervous.
That would make me nervous because you got to think when you have a big audience like that, anybody could walk up and do anything. So you need to make sure that the people that you have on place are people that are trained and equipped to be effective, but yet tactful. You know what I'm saying?
That's why nobody laying hands at the altar no more. They're like, we don't have to lay hands on you. God is going to touch you.
God is going to touch you. And honestly, that's the safest way to do it. It's sad because I do believe in the laying on of hands and the transfer of power and things like that. I believe in that, but we can't do it as much because nasty sick preachers messed it up for everybody. So when folk get back to living right, hopefully we can get back to seeing that kind of stuff. But we got to be so tactful with everything. And so you're like, now I know a pastor now, when he does counseling, if it's with a woman, he has to have his wife there. He don't do counseling one-on-one with women by themselves. You know, and then,
I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I want men laying hands on me, because one man laid hands on me and he hit me in the head too hard, like my teeth chattered, and I ain't like that. He used too much force. Like, I'm a woman, just lay hands on me, but it was like
you weren't falling faster though.
And I went to fall up to that because now
you would have just failed.
Now I'm upset. I wasn't gonna fall because now
that. Oh God!
If my tongue had been in the way, I would have bit my tongue. You hit my forehead so hard.
I know a pastor that. I can't say that. But I've seen some pastors do some weird stuff, so I can understand why people don't go.
You've seen stuff on social media.
I've seen stuff in person. I ain't even got
women barking, getting on hands and knees and doing silly stuff. So
laying on top of people while they on the floor. And
I definitely understand why people are being more cautious, and being more mindful of the roles that each gender plays in ministry.
Because I was talking to somebody today, and we was talking about, women being ordained as bishops and pastors and stuff. And I was saying, there are some organizations that are just probably not going to allow women to be bishops. But I said, because the problem is, if they do allow you to get that role or that position as a bishop, and then when they start treating you like a bishop, you get offended and be like, they too hard, and they too, but that's the position that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can't get upset because that's just how it is. So, I think there are certain, like, my thing of it is, if you preaching, evangelizing, pastoring, doing that, why do you really need to be a bishop? And that's really for men and women. Why do you really need these titles and stuff like that? I don't think women, how can I say this? A woman can never be equal with a man, and a man can never be equal with a woman. Yeah. Because if that's the case, a man can give birth and a woman can get other women pregnant. Or women can get men pregnant. Like, we'll be able to have the same functions biologically, and we don't. So we would never be equal with each other. What we have to realize is that we just need to learn how to accept each other and find how we can become compatible with each other. It's like a magnet. You have a positive and you have a negative. You have puzzles. Every puzzle is a different shape and a different piece. But when you put it all together, it makes a nice picture. So instead of trying to be equal with somebody, try to find out where you can fit in their life and make something great out of it. But don't be sitting up here, I can do the same thing you can do. No, you cannot. A woman cannot do what a man can do. A man cannot. I don't think you've given birth, and from what I've heard, that's like near-death experience. I don't think men could deal with that.
This is so funny because just last night, I don't know how it came up, but I was trying to explain to Marcus what period cramps are like. And he thinks it's like, he was saying, is it like if I eat a lot of ice cream and like my stomach get cramped? And I said, it's probably closer to like food poisoning cramps, and they don't leave. Like, you may have them for like a few days. But I know even with that example, he still can't really fathom like what a cramp is. Because even if you got food poisoning, you stay home until you feel better. Well, when your period on, you got to keep living. It's a lot of women have to go to church, take care of the kids, preaching, singing, doing all this kind of stuff, and they cycle on and they cramping. So that's a good point. We need to just be able to respect each other's roles, because like, you don't know what it's like to have, I don't know what it's like to function as a male, and you don't know what it's like to function as a female. And truth be told, we wouldn't be able to handle each other's thing. That's why I am who I am and you are who you are.
Even if you, Lord, I'm finna mess up. Oh well, it must be what's in this cup. But even if you decide you want to change your biological construction and you want to do all of that, you'll never, if you were born that, you'll never be a woman. Like you'll never be, biologically, you will never be a man. That's all a mental thing. Even if you want to be referred, and I think that's what this society don't really understand. I'm not, that's your life and that's what you want to do. But the trans and all of that, you're going to still be what you were biologically born as, regardless if you changed, cut it off, tucked it in, added it, whatever. Biologically, you're still going to be a man. So you will never be, the same thing with women. You will never, ever be a man. You can dress like a dude. You can wear boxers. You can wear clothes. You can do whatever you want to do, but you will never, ever, ever be a man. I don't care how hard you act. It's not going to happen. Unless God himself change it, it's not going to happen. You're going to still, especially with women, you're going to still have to have your cycles and all of that. I don't know no man that have those. So that means you ain't a man. Okay. Please send all your complaints to Kalanda Douglas.
Please, because that's what I do for a living. I love to address people's complaints. My mom's my period with a T.
Because I ain't going back and forth. I ain't going back and forth this season. I got too much going on in my life. I ain't going back and forth.
I know that's right. God is
Take it up with God. Take it up with God.
You got any announcements before we log off?
Yes, y'all listen. I'm putting the flyer out this week, but June 17th, all men under the age of 40, we are doing a Bros sneaker brunch. June 17th. It's at 10 a.m. The tickets will be going live. Matter of fact, you can go on Eventbrite now and get the tickets, but I haven't posted it yet because I'm waiting on the flyer. But the tickets are $35. So it's a Bros brunch. We're going shoes giveaways. We got gift cards that we're giving away from Foot Locker and all of this. Wear your best tennis shoes. But it will be June 17th, the day before Father's Day. We got some guests that are coming in and they're going to be talking. But I'm telling y'all, it's not going to be the typical boring church men's breakfast. This is actually going to be fun. We're doing a man tournament and all of that. So 10 o'clock, June 17th, mark your calendars. Y'all will see the flyer. Information will be on Eventbrite. Please get your tickets ASAP when you do see it, because we are not selling tickets at the door. We are not selling tickets at the door. And women, if you got your husband, your boyfriend, your baby daddy, your friend with benefits, your sneaky league, whatever he is, and you want to do something nice for him, it's the day before Father's Day, please purchase a ticket to this event. This will be a nice little thing. Because think about it, don't nobody do nothing Father's Day weekend. They do stuff Mother's Day weekend.
Yes, we do.
They don't do nothing on Father's Day weekend. But anyway, so June 17th, it's the day before Father's Day. The flyer will be out, but it'll be from 10 a.m. It's going to be fun, y'all. This is not going to be, like I said, don't come expecting it to be like a church setting. Now, if the Lord show up, we can't stop that. But we're going to really deal with some stuff and talk about some stuff and really go in depth. And no, we're not live recording and none of that, because it's going to be a very comfortable setting. But I'm excited. I can't wait for this. This is the stuff I get excited about. So I can't wait. I'm over here shaking just thinking about it.
I'm going to get y'all tickets.
Yeah, get your tickets. Nothing will be free this year. Get your tickets.
That's right.
It's prayer. That's it. I don't charge for prayer. Everything else has a cost.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in and for rocking with us. Don't forget to tune in until week after next. We'll be back. And if you have not, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, where we post our episodes right away. And then on the podcast, they hit every Thursday. Until next time, this is The Real Room.
Peace.